Good evening, YouTube. Powerball Crazy, come back to the video. Today I'm did a little cool mail day. I picked up with this gentleman, a card of this gentleman that I didn't really know much about till this past weekend, and I thought I had to get a card of him. Then I also added a card, another recent pickup to this video theme of Puerto Rico. I got a couple cards of this Puerto Rican greats, and so I just added all to make one big theme video. A little backstory of my collecting. Little premise is that you all know that main theme when I got into started my collection, my PC, is to get one card every Hall of Famer. I don't have a huge budget, so I don't have a depth in my collection for each Hall of Famer. So when I picked up a Mickey Mantle, I moved on to somebody else, and got a Hank Aaron and moved on to somebody else. Got Roberto Clemente, moved on to somebody else. Got a Yogi Berra, then I moved on to somebody else, for the most part. So my depth within each Hall of Famer, I don't have a huge collection, but I think I have a wide span of many Hall of Famers, and a nice little collection I think I have. Then after the Hall of Famers, I also kind of collect players who had their numbers retired within the franchises. So if I was a Yankees collector, on top of the Mantles, the Berras, the Reggie Jacksons, the Whitey Fords, and other Hall of Famers, I make sure I had a card of a Roger Maris, a Helston Howard, a Thurman Munson, and like for the the Reds, in addition to Frank Robinson and Barry Larkin and Johnny Bench, I would make sure I have a card of Ted Kluszewski. And sometimes these Hall of Famers retired, like Tony Oliva, Minnie Minoso had those retired numbers many years ago, so I already had a card of them, so I didn't really need to add into my get a card from the Hall of Fame PC. So that's a little premise I have, is Hall of Famers and retired numbers, little PC collections I have within my mass collection. So last Sunday I got home, and the Red Sox-Yankees were on ESPN that night, and I didn't feel like watching the Red Sox-Yankees for the 94,000th time, because, you know, by every Red Sox-Yankee game is on national television, is like a bylaw. So I was feeling nostalgic, and sometimes I got these little kicks of part of baseball history, little things that I want to learn about or rehash memories on or rewatch something. And I was thinking about the Expos playing in Puerto Rico. And, you know, they transitioned from Montreal to Washington, become the Washington Nationals. They played parts of 2003 and 2004 home games in San Juan, Puerto Rico at Iram Victor Stadium. And so I go on YouTube and see, is there anything games of the Expos in Puerto Rico? And yep, there's the first game. Pretty poor video quality compares. I watched the Expos play the Mets in Puerto Rico, and I was feeling, you know, this is kind of cool. I really kind of took it for granted back then, and so I kind of see if I learn anything or rewatch it and kind of familiarize myself with it. So I'm watching the game, and I noticed on the outfield wall, there's 3 numbers retired at Victor Stadium. One was Clemente, obviously, and number 21. Next one was number 30, Orlando Cepeda. And the last one was number 22, Gomez. I'm like, I don't know quite sure who this is. And it's like, well, it's not Lefty Gomez. I'm sure it's not him. So I had to Google and found out it was Ruben Gomez. I get this card in the mail today. His 54 Topps rookie card. I think it's 54 Topps of my favorite 50 set. This has grown on me quite a bit. I just love the simplicity of the color and the dual photos and great color cartoons at the back. And I don't know, just like 54 has become my favorite set of late. Before I get into Gomez some more, I would talk about pick another card of another Puerto Rican legend. Topps did established the Pristine set this year, so I decided to go back and buy an old Pristine card. I don't have any gold refractors from 2002, the first year of Pristine, so I picked up a gold refractor, and I found this one at a decent price. So I picked up a gold refractor of Carlos Delgado. I kind of like these. Nice little shine, and with the team logo in the back. And these gold refractors from this year is numbered out of 70. So I add this Delgado collection card to my collection. Great Puerto Rican player. And add to this Puerto Rican themed video. Back to Mr. Gomez. He pitched a total of 10 seasons in major leagues. Giants and Phillies, I think, the two teams. I don't know if he should play for everybody else. But he also pitched like 29 seasons in the Puerto Rican Winter Leagues. And he pitched several seasons in the Caribbean Series. With a team called, if you're familiar with the Puerto Clemente in his history, he played for that same team, Santurce. And in total, if you count all his major league, minor leagues in the U.S., his Mexican League career, his might have pitched him in Venezuela, his Puerto Rican career, his Caribbean Series career, he's amassed about 400 career wins. His nickname is a great nickname, El Divino Loco, Divine Madman, for his willingness to pitch in crazy jams in the games. Also, I guess he was a bit of a crazy driver. And so after that nickname, I love that nickname. He was a screwball pitcher, a bit of a sidearmer, I believe, too. And in all, he pitched many years in the, like I said, the Puerto Rican League, and he has the all-time record, tied the all-time record with 6 wins in the Caribbean Series. So he's in the Caribbean Baseball Hall of Fame. And during the pitched with many Negro League greats, Major League stars in the Winter Leagues, and became quite a popular player, good player. Back to his Major League career. In 1954, his World Series. Giants went to the World Series, and he won and started one of the games in the World Series, and thus becoming the first Puerto Rican ever to win a World Series game, and the first Puerto Rican to ever become a World Series champion. Back in Puerto Rico, when he was pitching, schools were closed, so all the kids gave to watch Mr. Gomez pitch in the World Series, and he returned to Puerto Rico after the series to a hero's welcome. So that's a cool little tidbit on Mr. Gomez. And one other tidbit about him was when New York Giants moved to San Francisco, the first ever game played on the West Coast at Seals Stadium, the old San Francisco Pacific Coast League Stadium. Gomez, the Giants, played against Don Drysdale of the Dodgers, and Gomez outdueled Drysdale and the Dodgers that day, thus getting the win. When he got the win, he became the first Major League pitcher ever to win a ball game on the West Coast. And there you have the history of Ruben Gomez. I am now proud to own Mr. Gomez. I know a little bit more about Ruben Gomez and have him in my collection. And you don't have to spend a whole lot of money on picking up a baseball legend, somebody who has this great little bit and piece in baseball history. I only spent like $5-6 on this card, and 54 tops, rookie card of a great pitcher in his own time. And thank you for watching. Y'all have a good night.